Hey guys, this is Jamie, and here is my Raw review for 7/12/10. It was the 12th yesterday, right? I think so. If it wasn't, then the title will have the correct date. So I'm rocking my Undertaker shirt and eating the best cereal in the world, Reese's Puffs, while doing my Raw review for 2010. And before that, I'd like to give two plugs. Just two. Two plugs. And those two plugs go to myself the third and Chick21. Please go subscribe to them along with subscribing to my second channel, Jamie Loves Taker, and Twitter, Jamie Loves Taker. Follow, subscribe. Links down below. So Chick21 doesn't have that many subscribers, but she's one of the few female wrestling shooters as myself. And I think many people don't know about the other female wrestling shooters. And they either have around, 500 or less. The only female wrestling shooter that I know that has, besides me, has around 500 subscribers, I think, is Wrestle Bunny. But I have the most for females, not trying to brag. But I am subscribed to these three female wrestling shooters, and it's sort of a plug to them. So Born619 Legacy, I think that's her username, Chick21, and Nutty Rock Chick. So I will put their links in the description, female wrestling shooters, and then their links. Go check them out and subscribe. Alright, now to the Raw review. Raw was actually really good. Minus the, the Brady Bunch segment, or whatever the show is called. And minus the Divas match. Otherwise, it was good. And, I really enjoyed this Raw. This Raw was actually good. 4 straight enjoyable Raws. You're on a roll. See what happened when you get rid of the guest host thing? I bet this Raw could have been even better if there wasn't a guest host. But it's WWE, so what do you really expect? Now, I bet some of you thought Raw sucked because of the guest host part. Well, what do you think is going to happen when you have a guest host? And come on, there's been worse. There's been worse segments. Well, they were on that. What was it? Who was the guest host? I don't know. The Divas were on this bull, or Big Show on this bull, and you find this there has been far worse segments with the guest host than this one, and it really wasn't that bad. At least it was a match. I'm just saying, at least it was a match, and at least when they had the segment, it was on screen on the Titantron, rather than wasting so much time. But it's Raw. You don't get wrestling matches on a wrestling show in WWE. I think you should know that by now. And it's the Entertainment A-brand show. But overall, the show was really enjoyable. And, yeah, so Cena cuts a promo, his famous little Superman promos. And, he talks about Sheamus and how he's going to beat him at Money in the Bank. Oh, are you okay? Talking to my cat. And yeah. How he talked how he beat up himself, Darren Young, right? That's who it was. And yeah. Let's see. Okay. So, Wade Barrett says that, we'll deal with Cena later or something like that, and then the stupid little lights flicker, and that noise, how the general manager just texted them, IM'd, whatever you want to call it. And they say a Rowdy Piper quote. And they were teasing Stone Cold last week, and now they're teasing Rowdy Piper. And We all thought this week that they would tease The Rock. They might do that next week, or they might do a different legend. I don't really think it's a legend at all. I really don't know who it is. As long as it's not someone really stupid or disappointing, then I'm good. As long as we get rid of the guest host. See how good Raw is when they're going to get rid of the guest host? I mean, there was a guest host for, yesterday. But that's the only thing that really sucked about this show besides the Divas. And, alright, so our first match was a Divas match. And the first, there's 3 matches in a row for Raw. That's just amazing. We usually don't get matches. They weren't that good, but one was a Divas match. I don't even remember who won. I honestly don't give a shit. What was the next match? Hold on. Oh, Alicia Fox won. Don't care. The Hart Dynasty and Natalya versus the Usos. Now, the Usos won. I don't think I was really paying attention during this match, but otherwise it was okay. I like both of those teams. So at least the Usos finally won a match. Alright. What the fuck? Okay. Edge versus Randy Orton. Holy fucking shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. This match was good. Pretty decent though. And then you have Jericho come in, then you have Evan Bourne, and then he was about to go for the shooting star press and attack Orton, but he countered mid-air with that RKO. Spot of the year? Yes. Well, at least so far. But seriously, that was freaking awesome. Everyone was practically marking out. And as much as I love Chris Jericho, as much as I love Evan Bourne, I loved everyone in that ring. They were all my favorite wrestlers. Jericho, Edge, Randy Orton, and Evan Bourne. So it was good. It was good. But seriously, I think that's what made the show so awesome. Because everyone was tweeting about it. Everyone I knew on Facebook that liked wrestling, we were talking about that. That was freaking awesome. Everyone was freaking tweeting. And then after that, Randy Orton was trending worldwide on Twitter. He's not anymore, but he was, which was really cool. So there's Mark Henry versus The Miz. And it was okay. I did not pay attention. I was on Skype, and they were kind of distracting. So then there is the William Regal, Primo, Zack Ryder, and Doink the Clown versus Santino Marella, Goldust, Vladimir Kozlov, and the Great Khali, which was not a good match, which was the only thing that sucked besides the Divas match during Raw. Otherwise, the show probably would have been really, really good. The Santino bunch won, which there's the Jobber heels and then the Jobber faces, all going at it, and the Jobber faces won. Woo! The only person I like out of this is Zack Ryder, and he should be doing something else rather than jobbing. Well, not really jobbing, but being with a bunch of wrestlers that nobody cares about. And there's the Nexus versus John Cena. The Nexus won, which, cool, Other thing, John Cena was freaking bleeding, which also made it pretty cool, but they cut it off at the end. I guess they didn't really want us to see the blood. Yeah, about Mark Henry, they beat him up too, which was cool. They had this, what was it? I don't remember what it was, and it fell, onto the crowd, which was cool. They beat up Kool-Aid Man. And the last match, I don't think I saw at all. I think I saw it towards the end when they were beating up Cena, which anything beating up Cena is fine with me. So tell me what you thought of Raw. And new video up on Jamie Loves Takers, so go check it out. Goodbye.